Hey there, my name is Pravus and welcome back to more Hearts of Iron 4, playing as the Communist States of America, fighting against the Axis and the Chinese front. And I'll admit this is not going anywhere near as well as I was expecting it to. The Germans are putting up one heck of a fight. I mean, it helps that, like, I have to pull my punches and I'm not taking things like Paris and stuff, but, like, they're really fighting better than I expected them to. It's partly the dang air fighting, right? They got some seriously good air superiority considering. I thought I'd have enough planes. Turns out I was wrong. I also kind of assumed the Germans were going to exhaust themselves fighting against the Soviets. Turns out no. Their production was pretty much on point. They weren't slow to take down the Soviets because they were losing a lot of equipment and manpower. They were just taking their sweet time about it. So when I did attack, turns out I had a bit cut out for me. So we're sort of pushing right now, though I'm still trying to push into some of the heartland of a lot of their territory around Berlin. The more factories and core states we take away from them, the more they're going to start to bleed to death. It's not like I'm worried I'm going to lose this war. I'm just taking way more casualties than I was expecting to at this point in the game. But all right. Maybe I got a little bit cocky, a little overly confident. I was drunk on the power of communism. It turns out. Something along those lines. I don't know. But we're still hanging in there. We're still hanging in there. Everything's going to be fine. I don't see any point in going for any of those. We could go for some more doctrines. Don't see the point in any of that. We're already finished up over there. I've got lots of army experience. What we could do is start researching some upgrades for things like my mechanized. We can start producing that a heck of a lot cheaper. Tempting, but right now I mostly am concerned about whether or not we're going to have enough of these dang self-propelled artillery tanks, because, yeah, there's not enough of those to be going around at the moment. Forget the strategic bombers. These are low priorities. Don't care as much about that. Don't care about transport planes. Don't care that much about tactical bombers. We got enough towed anti-tank coming in. That's mostly what matters. Let's just keep this self-propelled artillery going. Because out of my logistics, that and infantry equipment are the two things that I'm currently losing the most of. And we are bleeding on that infantry equipment. Like, as we capture more factories, we've got to start working on more of those. Absolutely crucial. Hey, you guys are getting into Ulm, right? Yes? All right, reinforcements coming into play as well. Good. Remember, we have War Plan Black going right now, so we have a nice 10% combat boost against the Germans. In 169 days, we'd be able to do a cryptology boost. We could try to go for some more machine encryption to try and make that a little bit easier at cracking their code. A little extra attacks here and there wouldn't be a bad thing. I'm still kind of worried about taking on something like Berlin. I don't really feel comfortable taking that out. I do want to pin these guys down because I see right here an opportunity to push up to Rostock and get to Lübeck and surround all the troops around Hamburg as long as we can keep these guys pinned down for a minute, which I'm pretty confident we can do. So let's make sure we do exactly that. Keep these guys nicely pinned. You guys keep these guys pinned around Hamburg. They're trying to retreat a bunch of units, but I'm not going to let them. Not going to let them do it. This is our chance for a surround. Boom. That's gonna hurt. All right. That's pretty sweet. We're gonna get a lot of kills against the Germans right here. It's gonna free up a bunch of troops as well that we can send elsewhere, but that's huge casualties against them. And Hamburg is gonna be getting some supply, but you can see we're whittling them down pretty fast. Okay, all right, that helps. That helps in a big way. We could also push up to like Stralsund. Try to push you guys out of here, send some tanks, just go ahead and keep pushing around that way. Yeah, we're almost ready to surround Berlin at this point, which is a really good position for me to be in. Let's send some infantry here, guard that, pull you guys back, and I'm actually going to pull back on the tanks, because again, the goal is not to take Berlin, because I'm afraid of capitulating them too early. And this is where, like, I'm confident we could win this war pretty quickly if I weren't having to pull my dang punches like this, you know? Let's try getting all the way around over here, get through Prague. We are not interested in pushing into mountains using tanks, but this should be okay. And we're just gonna hold the dang line more than anything. If we can, however, use our superior speed to get up through here to Stettin, I would love to do that, just so we can join these troops together and be confident in that. I like having joined up front lines, or at least the option to retreat if I need to. A lot of reinforcements on the way. He's too stupid to be pushing into my empty front lines right now, though, which is great for me. Can you guys prevent reinforcements from coming in there, please? Not interested in letting them join forces. I do want to take that air base. That'd be great. One of you, stay behind. Make sure we don't accidentally lose ground. Good. Can you assist here in Stettin? Answer's yes. One of you guys, pin these guys down so they can't take it, and that's going to be some reinforcements in just a moment. Okay. So at least now we're in a position where I can hold all of this. You have way too few troops to be that useful. I'm going to have you move over here, and your goal is basically just to push up around Danzig if you can find a way. Otherwise, looking really good. So the Germans are starting to fall apart now, which is kind of what I was expecting. I'm still suffering pretty heavily for equipment, but as long as we're not making a lot of overly aggressive pushes, we'll be fine. I'd like to push your tanks out of here. I don't really like that they exist. Let's just sit here a hair's breadth away from Berlin. Scare the frick out of them. They are 76% of the way towards capitulation. I could end this war pretty much any time I wanted to. That's where I have to be super duper careful not to do that. We'll just sit here around Berlin, scare them away, do damage to their tanks and stuff. With you here, perfect. Okay, and can you guys just push these guys back over here? Good. The problem is, with this much collaboration, at some point, even when I start taking over things like Prague and Munich, they might just capitulate early anyway. So at some point, I literally have to just hold the front lines and stare at the Germans and don't do anything to them. Which is not the most fun way to do a big world war, you know? I mean, it's April 1944. World War II should be about over by now, yeah? Isn't that how it's supposed to work? Pretty sure it is. Just saying. Taking it easy on you guys or something, probably, not deliberately, whatever. Don't check me on that, it doesn't matter. Please push through all this and make sure we finish these guys off. I would have loved to surround around 16 or so infantry, but we're not hitting fast enough for that to work. Can you guys please hit here? Everything you got. Hit here, surround all this. They're gonna retreat. Pin them down! No, really, seriously though. Pin them down, don't let them leave! Ah, dang it, they gave up on the fight. All right, forget it. It's worth a shot, worth a shot. Yeah, their industry's gotta be falling apart by now. What kind of factories are you looking at? You've got 118 military factories compared to my 437. I mean, if there's any question as to whether or not they were gonna lose this war, that should be kind of telling you right there. They're not gonna last that long. I'm still not even on war economy, by the way. We never actually did do that. Yeah, by all means, send me some more of that sweet, sweet anti-tank and stuff. That'll be great. We push along over here. If we can surround Berlin, I imagine that'll do pretty good damage to their supply. Make things a little bit tougher for them, yeah? See if we can do some damage over here. Still close enough to some shore bombardments, which is great. Nah, they're swarming around. They really don't want to give up this territory. Which, like, fair enough. Let's get to Dresden. See if we can take that out. Still struggling. I think we have the air superiority that we're looking for over here, though. For the most part, at least. We're contesting it pretty heavily. For absolute sure. A lot of troops over there in France going absolutely nowhere. They can't sustain any pushes on the East Coast, so that's all taken care of. All right. The Germans are all but done. So do I sit here and do absolutely nothing and let my equipment regain itself, risking that they start rebuilding as well, while I literally just sit around waiting for the gosh dang nuclear tech to be done in over a year? Is that what I do in order to ensure that I can get my achievement? I mean, it's entirely possible that I just release this stuff back to Vichy France and we attack them later. You know? Like, I technically speaking, could just capitulate the Germans, hand this all off. We have a war goal, so if this all goes to Vichy France, we just kill them at a later date. And then I can nuke them. Of course, I would probably lose a lot of ground over here, but as long as I don't take Paris, then whatever France it goes to, I should get to keep a puppet war goal against. You know what? That's it. I've been pulling my punches for too long, and it's costing me millions and millions of men and a lot of equipment. Screw it. Let's get the Germans out of here, and let's just make this an easy war. Get Berlin. We're going to have a huge collaboration against them. It's going to be easy. We can beat them all up. Come on, everything we got on Berlin, please. Take this out. This should be easy. I say should. Still struggling a little bit. Oil processing means I'm going to have no problems on oil. We can actually, let's say, stop trading with Mexico, and Iran, and Peru, and so on. We don't need any of their oil anymore. Should be making ridiculous amounts of fuel. Yeah, you don't have a lot of troops left over here, and we have plenty of soft attacks, so we're burning through all of that. We got intervention in the Americas. Let's go ahead and affirm the Monroe Doctrine, in case I decide that I want to be a bit of an imperial person. There goes Berlin, and there goes the Germans. And we get Paris as a result. See, I told you, like, that's all it was going to take, was just knock that out and boom. So the Germans are out, and all of a sudden, I've just freed up a ridiculous number of troops. That's it. That's all I had to do. And we captured all their equipment, which means I just solved all my equipment issues, too. Including not fighters. Fighters we still have nowhere near enough of. Okay. Well, I've got a monumental number of factories I can work with. Thank you, Germans. So, let's go ahead and put pretty much everything I've got into that. And is there even enough aluminum in the world to keep doing this? I guess Vichy France has some. But not much. It's gonna be hard to keep on top of all that. That's fine though. Yeah, we don't have a lot of aluminum. I might need to consider developing some more of the fields myself. And this is where the war suddenly becomes completely easy, right? Zero problems winning the war once the Germans are out. You're gonna tell me that Hungary and Italy and Romania are gonna stop me? Absolute nonsense. They stand absolutely no chance in the world. Let's go ahead and start developing modern tanks for fun. And I'm gonna go ahead and redeploy all the troops. And now we just go ahead and push along the north. I've got a whole load of troops that are rapid redeploying to get over there at the moment. The tanks in particular are gonna be pushing around through Romania, since that's where we can have a nice pass around the mountains. Not looking to use up my tanks in mountains around Hungary and Slovakia and stuff for a bit, especially around Yugoslavia. Once we get through the Alps, then I don't mind using them to try and push around through Rome. But again, lots of mountain ranges over there too. Not the most hospitable thing for a whole bunch of tanks, but no problem. I got even more factories to work with. I'm up to 600 mills, by the way. Oh my God. Yeah, there literally isn't enough aluminum to go around for anything like this. Yeah, that's gonna be real freaking fun. Okay. Well, let's keep producing more advanced mediums, and let's keep producing some more flame tanks, and then a lot more of the advanced mediums, plus a lot more of the mechanized. I guess. I don't know. Can we go for... Hold up. I don't want to dismantle that, blah, blah, blah. Ah, there we go. War Plan Silver. Let's get a 10% attack bonus against the Italians. That's going to be easy. And then we can expand some of our aluminum mines using political power, which is a little bit pricey. I'd rather not use up that political power, but oh well. Not a big deal. And now we just sort of sit back and let them do their thing. I can micromanage it, but without the German war machine, I really don't feel like these guys are much of a threat. We should be able to just sit back and enjoy this for a while. What are we still missing? Light tanks. There goes Slovakia, by the way. Tell you what, I'll go ahead and start producing some very basic garbage light tanks. I mean literally garbage light tanks. Just so you all will shut up. All right, and great, we're out of steel again. For frick's sake. You know what I could do if I had the political power? Get off a dang free trade. That's a big part of why we're struggling economically. I'm still trading away a ton of resources, as you can see, out to the market. If we weren't doing that, we'd be completely fine. But no, I've decided the right thing to do is to continue with the free trade. Hey, there goes Romania. That was actually really easy. Thank you. All right, Hungary won't be lasting much longer either. And then it's just a matter of literally pushing into Italy, and then boom, the Italians will be out. The Axis will be done, and then we'll just have to deal with, like, all of China. Never fight a land war in Asia, guys, and all I've got is land forces. This is gonna suck! There goes Bulgaria and Hungary, so they're all finished. We're just now cleaning things up, and then I gotta go push through the rest of Greece. We can technically fight over Africa. Italy does have a huge chunk of that. I don't really care that much. I like that the Germans are banished to Madagascar. Somehow that feels very fitting to me. It just tickles me pink. And the tanks have arrived in Italy, and guess who doesn't have very many troops defending? Yep. Once again, Italy finds themselves not being a very powerful ally in the Axis. I'm curious to see how much that's going to change, if at all, as of the next expansion, because obviously there's a whole lot going on over there. The next expansion with a rework for Italy that we've been waiting for so stinking long, I'm looking forward to that one, man. And that takes care of the Axis just like that, ba-boom. All right, so here's the thing with the whole Arsenal of Democracy achievement. I still need to get a lot of military factories for myself. So I could give up all of Germany to a puppet, but I think I'm gonna have to strip them bare a little bit first. Let's start by cleaning up some borders. I've got so much war score, I don't feel like I'm gonna be having a lot of trouble taking all of this. Let's see, I'm gonna let Germany basically exist down over here as a state around like Austria. But everything else is going to go to me to make sure that I've got the 375 factories that I'm looking for. Oh boy, this is going to take me a while. Sorry guys, hang on. Okay, that takes care of that. So the Germans exist as a little puppet down over here. I take 116 more states for myself. But now we're looking pretty good over here, aren't we? I also just banished Italy to this tiny little place down here in Sicily so they can keep whatever navy they've got left. All right, so the next thing I gotta do is I gotta go to occupied territories and I gotta find the French and return territory to them. That's the next thing I've gotta do. How best to return territory? Great question. Hang on. Maybe it's Nation Française right here. Release nation? Is this what I need to do? This might be what I need to do. It says I got 15 out of 27 core states. I don't want to release him as a puppet, I just want to release him. There we go. Okay, so it didn't go to Vichy France, but it does go to these guys, who are still fascist, and I can justify a war goal against them anytime I want in order to take them down. I thought we were going to have a war goal still with the whole, like, Vichy France thing, but it did not go to them. Oh, wait, they've reunited. And we lose the war goal. Okay, it's fine, it's fine. I can still justify on these guys anytime I want. And I'm gonna go ahead and start doing that right now. It'll take 125 days, that's fine. I got 337 before I even can build nukes in the first place. But what we can do is probably just surround them, prevent them from building up very many troops, and then just hold on around Paris until we're ready to go for nukage. And now begins the great assault around China as well. I'm just sending massive numbers of troops onto these front lines, even though the supply is abysmal. I'm hoping that we're gonna have enough equipment that we can still burn through a lot of this at least somewhat quickly, especially if we do have some air superiority. Surprisingly not doing great in a few locations, but that's partly because we don't have enough air bases around. I'm fixing that right now. Also trying to build out some additional supply hubs and railroads to make this a little bit better. But honestly, as long as we push into this pretty quickly, I don't feel like I'm that worried. We should still be able to win this. It's just a very, very costly war. Justification for attacking France is done. Let's go ahead and declare the war. Don't need to call any of my buddies in, though I wouldn't be surprised if they end up joining the Chinese United Front, which is a little bit comical, but whatever, it's fine. Let's make sure that they don't yep, there they go. Let's make sure they don't accidentally take Paris in their zeal. I can see it happening already. Stop. No movement in the north, please. Take whatever you are already working on and then otherwise leave it alone. Actually, interestingly enough, the French have basically nothing over here. They really have like nothing, all just hanging out over here around Châteauroux. Châteauroux? I messed that up pretty badly. But anyway, they got nothing over here. They're not even protecting Paris. I don't even know what they think they're doing. All right, whatever. Let's just go ahead and push a little bit. We'll do something like this. But I don't want to get a lick closer to Paris than I have to. This is kind of about as far as I'm willing to go. Because I could see them, and if I set these guys to aggressive, I could see them just freaking going for it. That would be no bueno. No bueno at all. A lot of damage being done to China right about now. What's sad is pretty much all is going to end up going to communist China by the time that I'm done with this. Who is, you know, part of Comintern, so I mean, not the worst thing in the world, but it's sad that I'm not going to get access to that many millions of manpower there. I could, by the way, spend some of my political power integrating American Raj as a puppet. I'm pretty much there at this point, but I'm saving up that political power because, let's not forget, I still do want to swap over to the Democratic Reformer just so I can get myself a nice little achievement off camera. I mean, we've got 1,300 factories, 642 million. All I needed was 375 for the dang achievement. So, like, this will be easy. The hardest part is going to be just sitting back and trying to tell people that communism was, in fact, wrong the whole time. Only 46 days left until we learn how to make nuclear bombs, and then I've actually got to make a nuclear bomb, but since I currently have a ridiculous number of nuclear reactors being built all over the place, it shouldn't take me very long. Oh, you know how I said I just kind of was avoiding playing a United States playthrough because it felt like I would sit around for a long time? There has still, even with all the early action, been an inordinate amount of sitting around in this particular game. There really has. But it's been for good reasons. It's been for dealing with the Soviets and getting all their land for free. And then it's been waiting for achievements. So this last wait right now, like, could I just end the game now and conquer everything I want? Absolutely, but we're taking our sweet time about it because I want to do it right, dang it. I want to nuke Paris. 3, 2, 1... Ba-boom! Nuclear bombs are now being built. Total production, 3.2% per day in 1 month. We will have the nuke, and then we'll be ready to end this campaign officially. 1 month. 1 month. I can wait 1 month. What's 1 month? 1 month is fine. No problem. How's their democracy? It's going up by 0.05 per day. Oh god, it's gonna take for freaking ever to get ourselves up to democratic at this rate. I wish I could have started this a lot sooner, but again, I'll point out, I still haven't even gone to war economy, and I never got off of our free trade. We were spending our political power, like, non-stop this game. We found lots of uses for it. And that's a single bomb. Alright, hi Paris. Bonjour, boyos! Boom? Where's my boom? I was promised a boom. Oh, the bomb will be dropped in 12. I paused. I got too excited. Boom! There we go. That's an achievement. Team America! Yeah, because there's nothing more American than nuking France. I'm sorry, it had to be done. I didn't create the achievement. Blame Paradox. All right, so let's see. Team America, where are you? I saw you. Hang on. Destroyer of worlds, blah, blah, blah. We've used nukes before. That's no biggie. Team America has the USA drop a nuclear bomb on Paris. Yeah, Dunskies. All right. Is there anything else that I could do here? Research a land, naval, and doctrine tree. Oh, I guess I could do that. That's easy to do, except that, like, the naval doctrines are, like, long. Oh man, I'm not far off on that. I'll probably get that on my own time. I've never even bothered with it. Anyway, here comes Paris, so that's gonna be gone. Bye, France. All right, we should probably turn you on too. Make sure you grab the last little bit of stuff. You're hanging out over here in Brittany. That won't last you for very long. How are things looking in China? The Chinese United Front should be falling apart in just a little bit. You know what? Screw it. Let's go and take their dang capital fort over here. It should be easy. China's just not a fun place to fight, all right? It's just not. It's true in real life. It's true in the game. It's not as bad as Africa and Scandinavia, the two places I hate fighting the absolute most. The third is Canada, fourth is China. China you can deal with, it just sucks, but having lots of flame tanks, now that's fun in China. In fact, I hadn't even thought about that. Hi guys, would you like to swap out your anti-air for a flame tank? Boom. Jungle attack bonuses, hooray! Oh, experimental rockets. I'll be able to go for the jet engines and stuff now. Can you guys freaking just get up here and finish this? Finish it, Flaversham! Lordy, because at this point I've already got all the achievements I want. That was it. I just want to end the war so I can be ending on a high note. That's all I care about. Get the breast and we're gonna be done! Bye, nation français. All right, China is you and me now. Finally! My God, that was annoying. Alrighty, let's take pretty much everything, unless I feel like taking some puppets and stuff. I don't feel like taking some puppets and stuff. Let's just take basically everything. Well, this is going to confuse people. I've now made a Chinese People's Republic, and I've got a communist China. So we created communism in China, but not with Mao. We've got Guo. I have no idea who you're supposed to be, but okay. Yeah, that's not confusing at all, but communist China wasn't taking anything in the peace deal. I don't even think they had any war score options. There was nothing. It was weird. It was stupid, and it was weird. Anyway. Alright, so all that's left of this campaign is to literally sit around for like hours and to just go ahead and get democracy so that I can get the Arsenal of Democracy Achievement. Hey, it's Pravus from the future. Ignore me on everything I'm saying about the Arsenal Democracy Achievement. We can't get it, because we cannot flip back to democracy. I knew at one point they did change it so you couldn't flip ideologies more than once in a campaign, but I thought the US might be an exception to that because it says that we still hold public elections. And it turns out if you have enough Democratic support, you do have an election, but it doesn't matter who wins. They don't become the leader of the country. Democracy doesn't win no matter what. That's communism for you, I guess. Democrats will always lose. So I can't get the achievement. Oh well. Instead, I decided to go ahead and grab things like Around Eurasia in 80 Days, the Puppet Master, and Master of War. I'll have to get Arsenal Democracy another day on my own time, playing as Democratic USA. So basically, that's going to be the end of the campaign. Anything else I want to do, I'm going to do my own time. That was a slog in the last section, I'm not going to lie. Part of that was bad play on my part. We weren't doing a great job against Germany. I think I split my Air Force too much. We kind of weren't taking them seriously. I think it was absolutely the right call to just go ahead and end the war and kill Germany and release France later, because we had to wait a long time for that bomb. And we would have taken so many more losses. So I should have been more aggressive and more focused and direct, and gone for the throat with Germany instead of playing around with them as long as I did. And then fighting the Chinese right in front at the same time with like no defenses on my end, that was just a pain. Absolute pain. But if there's anything I've learned with the United States in this campaign, it's that if you can go for a civil war and get out of that undisturbed isolationism super early on, you scale so stupidly fast. I've never had 1,500 factories before. 1,500! There's so freaking many! So yeah, Communist USA, it's pretty strong. Taking over the Soviet Union in one click, pretty stupid, but at the same time, pretty darn fun. And we got a lot of achievements in this particular run. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this series. If so, I would humbly ask you to hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, hit that notify bell, and I will see you guys next time.